1, and then we can all recite 22 together. So text 51, I can make this smaller for now. वृक्णे स्वशूले बहुधारिणा हरेः प्रत्येत्य विस्तीर्णमुरो विभूतिमत् प्रवृद्धरोष सकठोरमुष्टिना नदन् प्रहृत्यान्तरधीयतासुरः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The demon was enraged when his trident was cut to pieces by the discus of the personality of Godhead. He therefore advanced toward the Lord and, roaring aloud, struck his hard fist against the Lord's broad chest, which bore the mark of Srivatsa. Then he went out of sight. Purport. Srivatsa is a curl of white hair on the chest of the Lord, which is a special sign of his being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Vaikuntha Loka or in Golok Vrindavan, the inhabitants are exactly of the same form as the personality of Godhead. But by this Srivatsa mark on the chest of the Lord, he is distinguished from all others. Text 16. Tenetham ahatah kshattar bhagavan adisukaraha nakampata manakvapi srajahata ivadvipaha. Hit in this manner by the demon, O Vidura, the Lord who had appeared as the first boar did not feel the least quaking in any part of his body, any more than an elephant would when struck with a wreath of flowers. Purport. As previously explained, the demon was originally a servitor of the Lord in Vaikuntha, but somehow or other he fell as a demon. His fight with the Supreme Lord was meant for his liberation. The Lord enjoyed the striking on his transcendental body, just like a fully grown-up father fighting with his child. Sometimes a father takes pleasure in having a mock fight with his small child. And similarly, the Lord felt Hiranyaksha's striking on his body to be like flowers offered for worship. In other words, the Lord desired to fight in order to enjoy his transcendental bliss. Therefore, he enjoyed the attack. 17. अठोरुधासृजन्मायां योगमायेश्वरे हरौ यां विलोक्या प्रजास्त्रस्ता मेनिरेस्योपसंयमम्. The demon, however, employed many conjuring tricks against the personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of Yogamaya. At the sight of this, the people were filled with alarm and thought that the dissolution of the universe was near. Purport. The fighting enjoyment of the Supreme Lord with his devotee, who had been converted into a demon, appeared severe enough to bring about the dissolution of the universe. This is the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even the wavering of his little finger appears to be a great and very dangerous movement in the eyes of the inhabitants of the universe. Text 18. Pravavurvaya vaschandas, pravavurvaya vaschandas, tamahapam savam airayan, digbhyo nipetur gravanaha, kshepanai prahita iva. Fierce winds began to blow from all directions, spreading darkness occasioned by dust and hailstorms. Stones came in volleys from every corner, as if thrown by machine guns. 19, text 19. द्यौर्नष्टभगणाभ्रौघैः सविद्युत् स्तनयित्नुभिः वर्षद्भिः पूयकेशासृग् विण्मूत्रास्थीनि चासकृत्. The luminaries in outer space disappeared due to the skies being overcast with masses of clouds, which were accompanied by lightning and thunder. The sky rained pus, hair, blood, stool, urine, and bones. Text 20. गिरयः प्रत्यदृश्यन्ता नानायुधा मुचो नघा दिग्वाससो यातु धान्यः शूलिन्यो मुक्तमूर्धजाः. O sinless Vidura, mountains discharged weapons of various kinds, and naked demonesses armed with tridents appeared with their hair hanging loose. Text 21. Bahubhir rakshobhihi patyashva ratha kunjaraihi आततायिभिर् उत्सृष्टा हिंस्रा वाचोति वैशसाः. Cruel and savage slogans were uttered by hosts of ruffian yakshas and rakshasas, who all either marched on foot or rode on horses, elephants, or chariots. And text 22, we can recite together. I will read 3 times and then you can all recite. Pradushkritanam mayanam asurinam vinashayat sudarshanastram bhagavan prayungta daitam tripat. Pradushkritanam mayanam asurinam vinashayat sudarshanastram bhagavan prayungta daitam tripat. Pradushkritanam mayanam asurinam vinashayat sudarshanastram bhagavan prayungta daitam tripat. Please chant.
Krishna. Pradushkritanam mayayam ashurinam vinashayat sudarshanastram bhagavana prayukta daitam tripat. Hare Krishna.
प्रादुष्कृतानां मायानाम् असुराणां विनाशयात् सुदर्शनास्त्रं भगवान् प्रयुङ्क्ता दयितं त्रिपात्. हरे कृष्ण.
Praduskritanam mayanam asurinam vinashayat sudarshan ashvatam bhagavan prayunta dahitam tripat.
Hare Krishna. Praduskritanam mayanam asurinam vinashayat sudarshanastram bhagavan ayukta daitam tripat.
Okay, we'll do word-to-word translation now. Pradushkritanam, displayed. Mayanam, the magical forces. Asurinam, displayed by the demon. Vinashayat, desiring to destroy. Sudarshana Astram, the Sudarshana weapon. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prayunkta, through. Daitam, beloved. Tripath, the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Lord, the personal enjoyer of all sacrifices, now discharged his beloved Sudarshan, which was capable of dispersing the magical forces displayed by the demon. Purport. Even famous yogis and demons can sometimes enact very magical feats by their mystic power. But in the presence of the Sudarshan Chakra, when it is let loose by the Lord, all such magical jugglery is dispersed. The instance of the quarrel between Durvasa Muni and Maharaj Ambarish is a practical example in this matter. Durvasa Muni wanted to display many magical wonders, but when the Sudarshan Chakra appeared, Durvasa himself was afraid and fled to various planets for his personal protection. The Lord is described here as Tripath, which means that he is the enjoyer of three kinds of sacrifices. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord confirms that he is the beneficiary and enjoyer of all sacrifices, penances, and austerities. The Lord is the enjoyer of three kinds of yajna. As further described in Bhagavad Gita, there are sacrifices of goods, sacrifices of meditation, and sacrifices of philosophical speculation. Those on the paths of jnana, yoga, and karma all have to come in the end to the Supreme Lord, because Vasudevaha Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Vasudevaha Sarvamiti. The Supreme Lord is the ultimate enjoyer of everything. That is the perfection of all sacrifice. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I thank you all for joining in today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are reading the 19th chapter of the 3rd canto entitled The Killing of the Demon Hiranyaksha. In the previous chapter, we saw how Hiranyaksha and Lord Varahadev exchanged words of insult. And also we saw how there is a second meaning to those insults. But towards the end of the chapter, we saw, and not only that, they even started fighting. But then Brahmaji became concerned and he pleaded with the Lord to, actually he said that now the time was auspicious for the Lord to kill the demon. It was noon time. Abhijit Nakshatra was the auspicious Muhurta at that time. So that was auspicious for the Lord to kill the demon. But if the Lord waited any longer, then the demon would become, Hiranyaksha would become more powerful. When night sets in, then the demons get more power. So that's how that chapter ended. And in the beginning of the 19th chapter, we saw that the Lord was, when he heard Brahmaji's prayer, he laughed. Why? Because Brahmaji's prayers were free from any sinful purposes. It is not that Brahmaji was underestimating Varahadev's position. Does the Supreme Lord need the help of auspicious time in order to defeat a demon? Doesn't Brahmaji know that? But here, Brahmaji's purpose was his love for the Lord overshadowed the Lord's opulence. Just like Mother Yashoda, when she loves, she's always in the mood that Krishna is her little son and she has to protect him. So she is chanting some protective mantras, thinking that if she didn't feed him properly, he would fall sick. Or she wants to protect him from the attack of the demons, like that. Does the Lord need all these protections? No. But that was only her intense love which covered her knowledge of the Lord's opulence, his Aishwarya. Similarly, here also it was Brahmaji's love which caused him to become concerned about the Lord. Therefore, the Lord cast his glance on Brahmaji and prahasya, right? He laughed or he smiled, hearing the words filled with love of Brahmaji. And then, because Brahmaji is now encouraging Varahadev to kill Hiranyaksha, so being encouraged by Brahmaji in that way, what did Varahadev do? He attacked Hiranyaksha with his mace. The Lord Varahadev attacked Hiranyaksha on the cheek, it is said, cheek or chin, somewhere on the face. The Lord attacked with his mace. But Hiranyaksha was not, inattentive. When the Lord attacked him, he immediately retaliated or he countered with his mace. Hiranyaksha was moving fearlessly in front of Lord Varahadev. So when Varahadev hit Hiranyaksha, he countered it with his mace. What happened as a result? The Lord's mace slipped from his hand and it fell down, whirling. So here, one may not consider that, oh, what kind of a Lord is he that he could not even defeat the enemy? The enemy caused the Lord to lose his weapon. That means he's not so powerful. One may think like that. But actually, the Lord's losing his, or the mace slipping from his hand is also glorious. How? The person who's fighting with him, this Hiranyaksha, who is this? This is actually his Parshada, his associate in the spiritual world. Jay and Vijay. So this is Vijaya. Hiranyaksha is Vijaya. And the opponent is equally powerful as the Lord, because he is the associate of the Lord from the spiritual world. He is equally powerful as the Lord. Therefore, he was able to cause the Lord to drop his, or lose his weapon, or drop his weapon. But what is the whole purpose? Unless the opponent is as good as you, what is the fun in such a fight? If you had a game, if you were able to very easily defeat the opponent, is it fun? Or if you had a really challenging opponent and then you defeat that person, when will you get more pleasure? Right? When the opponent is as good as you, is equally powerful as you, and then you defeat that opponent. So therefore, Hiranyaksha's causing the Lord to drop his weapon was actually meant to give the Lord pleasure. And by the way, who is this Hiranyaksha? Hiranyaksha is the Lord's eternal associate. That means his power is the Lord's own internal energy. So he's playing with his own energy. He's having fun with his own energy. Therefore, it is not a demerit. The Lord's dropping his mace is not a demerit. Then, when the Lord's mace fell down from his hand, what did Hiranyaksha do? Did he attack the Lord immediately? No. When there is a duel, both should have the same type of weapon.
Yeah.
And if one person is unarmed, then the other person also drops his weapon and then they fight with their hands. That's the rule. So Hiranyaksha, when the Lord lost his mace, Hiranyaksha did not take the opportunity to
Right.
fight the Lord and kill him. I mean, but yeah, he didn't attack the Lord. Why did he not attack the Lord? Is it because he was respecting dharma? Is that why? Of course, he didn't fight because it was dharma, but why was he observing that dharma? Not because he respected dharma. No. His intention of not attacking the Lord and showing that I'm following dharma, his intention was to insult the Lord and to make him angry. How is it an insult? His mood was that you are so insignificant. See, if you had a very formidable enemy, a very powerful enemy, and if he didn't have a weapon, you would take that as an opportunity to kill him. Otherwise, if he had a weapon in his hand, you wouldn't be able to fight with him because he's so powerful. But in this case, Hiranyaksha wanted to impress on the Lord that he didn't care for the Lord. So his not attacking the Lord when he didn't have a weapon was not out of respect for dharma. Rather, it was meant to insult the Lord and to make him angry. And yes, the Lord actually became angry. And the Lord said, Oh, you are trying to show me that you are not attacking me? Huh? And, even though I don't have a weapon, so you want to show that you're not attacking me? Wait and see. In one moment, I'm going to just see how I'm going to kill you now in one moment. Like that. Then, because the Lord didn't have a gada, his mace in his hand, meanwhile, all these demigods who were observing this fight, they became, there was an alarm amongst all the demigods that now the Lord lost his weapon, the demon is going to become victorious. So there was a cry of alarm amongst the witnessing demigods and rishis. So what did the Lord do? The Lord said, the Lord actually invoked Sudarshan Chakra. So he didn't pick up his mace fell down. So now the Lord invoked his Sudarshan Chakra. And while this Sudarshan Chakra was revolving in his hand, this Hiranyaksha, he became very angry. Whereas all these demigods, when they saw the Lord with his Sudarshan Chakra, they were concerned. Do it quickly. Kill him now. Kill him. Don't play with him anymore. May victory attend you, right? May you be victorious. But, kill him quickly. Dispatch him immediately. Don't play with him anymore. But when Hiranyaksha saw the Lord with his Sudarshan Chakra, first he saw the Sudarshan Chakra, and then he saw Lord Varahadev, whose eyes were just like lotus petals. When he saw this, all his senses were overpowered by indignation. He began to hiss like a serpent, biting his lip in great resentment. He was very, very angry. And immediately he attacked Varahadev. Hiranyaksha, who had fearful tusks. Yes, Hiranyaksha. Well, I guess canines, we should say, not tusks. Tusks are for Varahadev. Okay. Yeah, his teeth. Damshtra. Karala Damshtrash. Chakshurbhyam. So he had these teeth, sharp teeth. With his fierce eyes, he glared at Lord Varahadev as if he's going to burn him. Angrily, he was looking at Varahadev. And springing into the air, he attacked the Lord with his mace, calling out, "You are slain, you are dead," like that. But what did the Lord do? When Hiranyaksha threw his mace at the Lord, very effortlessly, with his left foot, the Lord just deflected the mace and it fell down. Hiranyaksha threw the mace at the Lord, and the Lord with his left foot just pushed it aside. Although the mace was coming at the speed of a tempest. So that means Hiranyaksha threw it with such force that the mace was coming at the speed of a tempest. But the Lord very, very easily just pushed it aside with his left foot. So now Hiranyaksha has no weapon. His mace fell down. He has no weapon now. So the Lord said, "You want to defeat me? Then take up the weapon and try again." So Hiranyaksha picked up the weapon. And once again, he came attacking the Lord, roaring loudly. This time, however, the Lord stood firmly and he caught the mace. He caught it just like Garuda would catch the serpent, like that. He just caught the mace. And after catching it, he gave it back to Hiranyaksha. "Here, take it and fight." So he felt so humiliated, Hiranyaksha, and he was reluctant to take back the gada from the Lord. So what did he do? Instead of taking that mace, he took a trident. It was emitting flames, and he threw that trident at Varahadev. This was not right. It's like somebody's using penance for a malevolent purpose. That means to destroy someone, for a wrong purpose. If you use your tapasya, even in bhakti, actually, Swarupa Siddha Bhakti means direct devotional service. Like you have Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam. This is called direct devotional service. Direct devotional service is called Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. Swarupa Siddha means it does not need even without the knowledge of the performer, even if it is done without intention, that activity itself has the potency to give results. This is possible only with bhakti. Bhakti means Swarupa Siddha Bhakti, like Shravanam, for example. You may not even know that Rama means it's the name of the Supreme Lord. I think all of you heard this. Once a Mohammedan person, he was in the forest and he was attacked by a wild boar. And in their faith, boars or hogs are considered to be abominable. So when a wild boar attacked him, he started calling out, Haram, haram, means abominable, abominable. But in that haram, there is Ha Ram, my dear
Ram,
Lord Ram.
Ram.
And he died saying Haram, Haram. But he got the result of chanting the names of Lord Ram at the time of death. This is called Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. Swarupa Siddha Bhakti means it is not dependent on your knowledge. You can do it, to make fun of in a mocking way, in any way. But that activity will give its results. Hmm? But sometimes somebody can do Swarupa Siddha Bhakti with one thing is the activity, and the other thing is why you're doing that activity. What do you want in return? So someone can be doing Swarupa Siddha Bhakti, but what I want to achieve by doing this Swarupa Siddha Bhakti is important. I may want material position, I may want wealth, I may want to go to heaven by doing Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. Then that type of bhakti is called Rajasi. That means passion, right? Bhakti is not in the modes, but my heart is covered by the modes of passion, ignorance, goodness, like that. So, because my heart is influenced by these modes, the bhakti that I do is also covered by that. How? It's just like if you have a crystal, what type of color comes from a crystal? I mean, what type of light? White light. But if you cover the crystal with a red cloth, then what type of light will come from that crystal?
Red.
Red light. That doesn't mean crystal is giving red light. Because of the red cloth, now you are seeing red light coming from there. Similarly, bhakti is always pure. But because my heart is covered by the modes of passion, the bhakti that I do is called Rajasi Bhakti, or Bhakti in the mode of passion. Bhakti is pure, but my heart is not pure because I have a desire for material result. You understand? So similarly, there is also Tamasi Bhakti. Tamasi Bhakti means you are doing bhakti only, but you're doing bhakti with a sankalpa, means with a determination to destroy someone. People do that. They take a vow for 24 hours I will chant. But what is the purpose? I want to destroy my enemy. For that, I am doing this vrata. That type of bhakti is called tamasi bhakti. And someone else can do bhakti to get liberation. I want to be liberated from this material existence. That is called satviki bhakti, doing bhakti for the sake of liberation. Are these pure devotional service? No. Pure devotional service means Kevala Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. That means you're doing only Swarupa Siddha Bhakti, but it is nirguna. It is not affected by any of these three modes. What is the purpose? Why am I doing bhakti? Simply to please the Lord. Not to get any material result, not to go back home, back to Godhead, not to become liberated. Even if I want to go back home, back to Godhead, it will be if the Lord desired. So what is the purpose then? It is to please the Lord. If the Lord doesn't want me to go back home, back to Godhead, then I'm not interested. If He wants me to stay here, then I will stay here. If He wants me to go to hell, I will go to hell. This is called Nirguna Bhakti or Shuddha Bhakti. That was an additional point. I just said that because here we saw that Hiranyakashipu is throwing a trident at Lord Varahadev. This is like using a penance for a malevolent purpose. So therefore, in that, I gave you the example of how someone can be doing bhakti for the sake of destroying someone. That is also possible. So Hiranyaksha threw his trident at the Lord. Remember, the Lord already had his Sudarshan Chakra. And that's when he attacked the mace, Hiranyaksha. Huh? So when he attacked with his mace, at first the Lord just pushed it and it fell down. And the second time he caught it, right? And now Hiranyaksha is attacking with a trident. What did the Lord do? With his Sudarshan Chakra, he just destroyed that trident. He tore it to pieces with his Sudarshan Chakra. So the trident is also gone. And there, the example is given just as Indra cut off the wing of Garuda. So we won't discuss that story here because we have to cover today's verses. So now, text 15. In text 15, we saw after Varahadev cut the trident of Hiranyaksha, what did he do? He was enraged that his trident was cut to pieces by the Sudarshan Chakra of the Lord. So he came forward, roaring aloud, and he punched the Lord, right? He struck the Lord with a hard fist on his chest. Where? Right where Srivatsa is there. Yeah. He hit the Lord on the chest where, he has the mark of Srivatsa. And what did he do after hitting the Lord like this? He just disappeared. He doesn't have any weapon now. So angrily he came and he hit the Lord with his fist very hard on the chest of the Lord. He hit the Lord and then he just disappeared. He went out of sight. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, Srivatsa is a curl of white hair, and even though in the spiritual world, especially in Vaikuntha, you will see the inhabitants have the same form as Lord Narayan. Like you see Jai, Vijay, Nanda, Sunanda, they all look like Lord Narayan with 4 arms, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and same complexion. But Srivatsa, only Lord Narayan has. They have the same form, Sarupya, right? They have the same form as the Lord. However, they don't have Srivatsa and Kaustuba jewel. This is how you distinguish others from the Lord. That only Lord Narayan will have. And similarly, in Golok Vrindavan Dham, also, they are two-handed devotees. So what happened after this? He disappeared, and did he stop there? No. Now he, no, one more point here. So when this Hiranyaksha hit the Lord on the chest, what happened to Varahadev? Was he shaken? Was he hurt? No.
He just ran away.
He did, yeah, he was just, he didn't feel the least quaking in any part of his body. Jaise in Hindi they say, baal ka ba ka, that means not even one hair moved on his body. That means it didn't make any difference to him being hit by Hiranyaksha. Why? It said that any more than an elephant would feel or would be affected when struck with a wreath of flowers. If you hit an elephant is big, strong. If you hit an elephant or if you throw a flower garland at an elephant, is it going to hurt the elephant? Like that. Hiranyaksha, he punched the Lord with all his might, but to the Lord it appeared like a flower garland fell on him. How is it? See, who is fighting with the Lord? Yes, of course, now he is in the form of a demon, but actually it is the Lord's devotee. Jai Vijay Vijay, right? So the Lord's servant now is giving the pleasure of Virya Rasa to the Lord. That was the whole purpose. We studied in chapters 15 and 16, the whole episode of how Jai Vijay desired to give pleasure to the Lord. And for that, they insisted that because the Lord is not able to enjoy Virya Rasa in Vaikuntha. Because in Vaikuntha, there are no demons, there are no enemies. Demons are there in the material world, not in the spiritual world. And even if the Lord came to the material world to fight, these demons, they cannot stand even for a moment in front of the Lord. They are not so powerful. If the Lord's personal associate fought with him, then they could actually put up a good fight for the Lord. And then when the Lord fought with, an equal opponent, then he would actually get the pleasure of fighting. He would taste that chivalrous rasa, or that rasa of chivalry, right? Of fighting, that virya rasa, he would be able to taste. And there, as a servant, their desire was, my Lord should not lack in any type of enjoyment. He should taste all types of rasas. And when the Lord tastes and enjoys all types of rasas, that is my enjoyment. This is the feeling of Jay and Vijay. So they wanted the Lord to taste Virya Rasa, but that's not possible. He's tasting everything else, but Virya Rasa he's not able to get. And who can give? Only we can give. So they pleaded with him, my Lord, please do something so that we can give you this Virya Rasa. So, the Lord initially he didn't want that, because then you will have to become my enemies. No, 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 no. But they were like insisting, no, 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 we want it, we want it, we want it, like children. So then the Lord's Bhakta Vatsalata, right? Like he couldn't say no. He couldn't say no to the desire of his devotees. Therefore, that whole episode, arrangement was made for the Kumaras to come and cursing and everything. But the
Yeah.
purpose was Jai Vijay wanted to give the Lord this pleasure of Virya Rasa. So now when they're here as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they're doing exactly what they wanted to do, to give that pleasure to the Lord. So there he's here. Hiranyaksha is giving a good fight, and the Lord is also relishing it. You remember in the first canto when Bhishma Dev was shooting arrows at the Lord, how did the
Yeah.
Lord feel? He was bleeding, being hit, pierced by the arrows of Bhishma Dev. And to him, it was like, a lover's kiss, or like flowers being showered on him by the devotee. That's how he was feeling, because it was his devotee. Bhishma Dev is also in that Virya Rasa. In Virya Rasa, he is serving the Lord. In Virya Rasa, you don't put a garland and perform arti. You shoot arrows, you hit the Lord, attack the Lord with weapons, and the Lord gets pleasure. And that's exactly what's happening to Varahadev here. So, Hiranyaksha, when he came and hit the Lord very hard, the Lord felt like someone throwing a garland at the elephant. He actually got pleasure. The thing is, he didn't feel, pain or anything, rather, it gave him pleasure. So for him, it was like somebody is offering him worship. That's how he felt. He desired to fight in order to enjoy Virya Rasa, and he enjoyed the attack by Hiranyaksha. Then he disappeared, right? Hiranyaksha disappeared, and he didn't stop at that. Now he started employing various tricks, just like we didn't read this. This will come in the next canto, Dhruva Maharaj's episode. We will see how to bewilder Dhruva Maharaj when he was fighting with the Yakshas. You will see on the cover picture of the fourth canto, you will see, all these serpents, and all of a sudden it was like, there was darkness everywhere, and oceans, like it's like you're in the middle of the ocean or something. But all this is illusory, it's not real. But it's created like this to uh, make you weak, to bewilder you, to cause fear in you, so that you won't fight. You won't be able to fight properly. That's the idea. So that's what Hiranyaksha did to Varahadev. What did he do? Uh, of course, when he did that, it didn't affect Varahadev, but all the other people in the universe, they were filled with alarm. And they thought, seeing all these illusory tricks. Now, by the way, these illusory tricks are employed by Hiranyaksha. Again, who is Hiranyaksha? He is the Lord's associate. So even his tricks are very powerful. You should understand whatever Hiranyaksha is doing here, after all, he is the Lord's Parshada, his associate. That means his power is the Lord's internal energy. What is a devotee's strength? What is a devotee's power? Devotee's power is his bhakti. What is bhakti? Bhakti is the Lord's internal energy. It is the condensed form of his internal energy. So all the tricks played by Hiranyaksha are actually coming from the Lord's internal energy only. So therefore, seeing those, the entire universe, all the people in the universe, they were alarmed and they thought that now it is the time for the dissolution of the universe. Annihilation is near. That's how they felt. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining the fighting enjoyment of the Supreme Lord with his devotee. Hiranyaksha, but you have to see it is his devotee. And the Lord is getting pleasure. So this enjoyment of the Lord in fighting with his devotee is so severe. It is severe enough to bring about the dissolution of the universe. But they are fighting and they're getting pleasure. But to the rest of the universe, it was like the universe is going to come to an end. That's how great that fight was. This is the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That even if he simply wavered his finger, it appears like it's going to end the universe. That's the point here. So when Hiranyaksha, what type of tricks did he employ? All of a sudden, there were fierce winds blowing from all directions. There was complete darkness everywhere. And there was dust storms and hailstorms. And, these huge rocks were being, it's as if you're shooting bullets from a machine gun. That's how these rocks were being thrown from the mountains. And there were these thick clouds in the sky which caused all the luminaries in the sky to disappear. That means they were covered. You couldn't see them. The sky was overcast with these clouds. And then in the clouds, there was lightning and thunder. And then the sky was raining all these obnoxious things like pus and blood and stool, urine, bones, hair. Not only that, from the mountains, various weapons were being thrown, and naked demonesses with hair open holding tridents, they were all standing there. And there were cruel, savage slogans uttered by yakshas and rakshasas. They were either on horses or on elephants or chariots. And they were all, making slogans. And in the midst of all this, the Lord Varahadev, who is the enjoyer of all sacrifices, simply released his Sudarshan Chakra, which is capable of destroying all types of illusions. So whatever is discussed so far, whatever things that Hiranyaksha created, this is all illusory. any ordinary person would be bewildered. We see that even Dhruva Maharaj was temporarily bewildered, seeing all the illusions created by the yakshas. But the Lord's Sudarshan Chakra removes all illusory forces. It just removes all magical forces displayed by the demons. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that even famous yogis and demons can sometimes enact magical feats by their mystic powers. Yes? But who is the best yogi of all? Yoginam api sarvesham mad gaten antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamomata. That means, yes, yogis will have all these mystic powers, but whatever a yogi has, that who is the topmost yogi? A pure devotee of the Lord. Yoginam api sarvesham mad gatena antaratmanah. That devotee who is always, constantly, at every moment, he is able to remember the Lord within his heart. So this is not just someone who's chanting Hare Krishna or trying to chant Hare Krishna all the time, but the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, those 4 verses, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 verses. The Lord gives hierarchy. Who is the best? The topmost is one who is always thinking about the Lord within his heart. That's the best. But if you're not able to think all the time of the Lord in your mind, then you can use your senses. Like with your mouth, you can chant, with your tongue, you can chant, with your hands, you do some services. So that is second level. But topmost is one who in his heart, he's constantly, continuously, he's able to remember the Lord. That's the best. So that's the best yogi. That means he automatically has all the mystic powers that a yogi has. However, a pure devotee doesn't use those mystic powers, even if he has those. He's not interested in those things. Even for his preaching purpose, he doesn't use his mystic powers. He does not want to attract people to bhakti by showing them some magic. No, that is not the what do you say, strategy of a pure devotee. Rather, he will preach to them. He will explain to them the Lord's glories. You know why? Because if a devotee showed his powers, people will simply become attracted to those powers rather than to devotional service. And then they will, even if they take to devotional service, they will do it to get those cheap powers. Compared to love of Godhead, what are these powers? They're cheap. So they will be cheated of the real result of bhakti. Therefore, a devotee does not show his mystic powers. Even, of course, he's the best devotee. He's the best of all yogis. That means he has all the siddhis that are available to a yogi, all the mystic powers. But hardly do you ever see, even in Bhagavatam, where do you see? You read about Ambarish Maharaj, you read about Prahlad Maharaj, you read about Dhruva Maharaj. Do you ever see that they're using their mystic powers? No, that's not their. The reason they don't show is actually we read about Prithu Maharaj. Recently, I was reading about Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj is also a pure devotee. He is Shaktiavesh avatar and also a pure devotee. A pure devotee doesn't need to do any karma. No, he does not need to follow Varnashrama Dharma. Pure devotees are above Varnashrama Dharma. But we have to understand who is a pure devotee. We cannot just take the privilege of pure devotee while we don't have the qualification. That's not right. One who is a pure devotee, he doesn't need to follow any varnashram dharma. It's not needed for him. Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata. Mat katha shavanadava shraddha yavanna jayate. There are only two, qualifications for one to give up dharma or varnashram dharma. Karma. Tavat karma. Until that time, you have to do your karma. Karma means you have to do your varnashrama dharma. Until when? Either you get full detachment or you get full faith, firm faith. Full detachment means your heart is purified completely. That means you are detached from everything. You are detached from the results of the work that you do. And naturally, when you don't want the results, you don't have any attachment to the work also. So you give up the work and you give because you don't have any attachment to the result. So that has to come, that detachment. So they practice. These are the jnanis. And for devotees, when you get firm faith, mat katha shravanadava shraddha yavanna jayate. The Lord is saying, this is Uddhav Gita, Krishna is speaking. This is Krishna's statement, 11:29, Canto 11, Chapter 20, Text 9. Until that time, you have to do your dharma until you get full faith in my katha. That means constantly. Pure devotee means continuously. You're doing only that. So until that time, you have to do your dharma, he's saying. So now Prithu Maharaj is a pure devotee. Pure devotee doesn't need to do varnashram dharma. Still he is doing his duties as a king. Why he is doing? There Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains there are 4 reasons. 4 reasons why a pure devotee who is continuously performing devotional service, either through body, mind, or words, he's constantly in touch with Lord. Still, he's performing duties in this world. But what duties? Duties which are prescribed in Shastra, that is only dharma. Varnashrama dharma is duties. He is doing his Kshatriya dharma. Why he is doing, do you know? First thing is to set the right example to those who are not yet qualified to give up karma. He is a king. He said, people are looking up to him. Yadyad acharati sreshtas tattad evetaro janaha. Whatever a leader is doing, common people are observing. Sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Whatever example he sets by his activities, people will follow. Like you see people following celebrities because they see them as their leaders. Whatever types of dressing they do, people follow. Yadyad acharati sreshtas tattad evetaro jana. So Prithu Maharaj is a king in society. As a king, if he just gave up all his duties, Kshatriya duties, people will say, oh, my king gave up, I will also give up. But do they have the qualification of Shraddha? They don't have that qualification. They don't have detachment, they don't have firm faith. These are the only 2 qualifications, only 2. Unless you have these qualifications, you cannot give up your dharma. You have to do your dharma. But taking the example of the king, they will give up all dharma. That's not right. So that people don't get deviated from path, to protect them, externally he will do dharma. All the while continuing his devotional service, either by chanting or in his mind, he is in touch with Krishna continuously. That's one reason, to set example. Second reason is, if he didn't follow this varnashram dharma as a leader, then gradually it will disappear from society. You can say like today, now, right? Hardly you see anywhere. But that is the ladder. For one who is not yet qualified, Varnashram Dharma will help you to come to that stage. So that this Varnashram Dharma does not disappear from society, Prithu Maharaj, he himself followed it to set example. There was no need for him to do, but he's still doing it so that it does not get disappeared from society. Then there's a third reason which is relevant here. The third reason is people will take bhakti cheaply. So to hide the glories of bhakti, I'll tell you what it means. So if you did bhakti, you can get everything. You can get food, you can be cured of your diseases, because Krishna says, right, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham nityami yuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyam. I will bring whatever you need, and I will protect what you already have. Krishna is saying that. Bhakti can give, this is the glory of bhakti, that without taking the help of any other sadhana, any other practice, that means you don't have to go to work. Simply, if you did bhakti, you can get everything. It's true. But still, bhakti hides her glories. That means, even though you can get everything, she may not show it. Why? Because if people saw that by chanting Hare Krishna, I get everything, why I have to work so hard, go and till the fields and grow food, and why I have to work so hard?
You'll
Right?
become more and
I
more
fall
lazy.
sick, I'll say Hare Krishna, I'm fine. And then why I have to get up and cut vegetables and cook today? I'll just say Hare Krishna, food will be ready automatically, it's on my table. So people will use this Hare Bhakti so cheaply for everything. Bhakti is the queen, and they will make her a maid servant. They will make her a maid servant and do everything what karma, jnana, and everything others, whatever they're supposed to do, they make bhakti do. They are not interested in the highest glory, the highest result that bhakti is able to give. Bhakti is meant for giving us love of Godhead. It's meant for giving us Krishna prema. Rather, they will use bhakti for cheap purposes. So therefore, bhakti hides her glory. You will see for so many years, they chant, like, pure devotees that we know, we see sometimes they fall sick, like, they have these terminal diseases, or it looks like, they died in an accident or something. Then, oh, they did bhakti and still it's not working. So what will these people do? People, those who don't have faith, they won't, they still keep their faith on their insurance, their wealth, their bank balance, and this and that. That will protect me. My doctors will protect me. My money will protect me. Not bhakti. We have seen enough. So they won't use bhakti cheaply. So you got the third point. The third point is just so that people don't use bhakti cheaply. For that purpose also, Prithu Maharaj, externally he showed that he's doing karma. So all of you also do. You don't have qualification yet. And finally, being a pure devotee never advertises himself as a pure devotee. He always hides it. His pure devotion is meant for Krishna's pleasure. It's not meant for advertisement. So he hides his own bhakti. He doesn't show people that, oh, I'm a pure devotee. No, I'm just I'm just a king. I'm doing my duty as a king. So this is an important lesson that mystic powers, yes, yogis have, even demons have mystic powers. We see so many times in Ramayana, we see Ravana's son. What's his name? Meghdut, Ravana's son.
Meghnad.
Meghnad, yes, thank you. Meghnad. He did so many, like he would just disappear and all that. So, yeah, having mystic powers, demons also can have, yogis can have. But the thing is, they don't use these, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, right? No, okay. Here, the point that Srila Prabhupada is making is that when the Sudarshan Chakra is let loose by the Lord, all such magical jugglery is dispersed. the instance of the quarrel between Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj. That's the example Srila Prabhupada gives. So you all know the pastime, how Ambarish Maharaj, actually he didn't do any offense there. It was not an offense at all. He took a drop of water to break his Ekadasi fast, but drinking water breaks the fast and also does not break the fast. So he did not break the etiquette of serving a guest. He didn't eat before feeding Durvasa Muni. But Durvasa Muni took it as an offense, and being a mystic, right? He employed his powers on Ambarish Maharaj. What happened? The Lord had appointed his Sudarshan Chakra to protect. Another example of Yogakshemam Vahamiham. Ambarish Maharaj is always absorbed in bhakti, then who will take care of his kingdom? The Lord is personally taking care of the kingdom by appointing his Sudarshan Chakra. And Sudarshan Chakra is not only protecting the kingdom, he's always protecting. Ambarish Maharaj is there. So when Durvasa Muni sent this demon Rakshasa to kill Ambarish Maharaj, immediately Sudarshan Chakra came and destroyed that demon and went after Durvasa Muni. So the Lord's power is, or here in this case, Sudarshan Chakra's power is more than the mystic powers of the demons or yogis. That's the point. And of course, here Varahadev is called Tripad because there are different types of sacrifices, Dravya Yagya, right? And then there's Jnana Yagya. Like this, different types of sacrifices are given in Bhagavad Gita. But Varahadev, the Supreme Lord, is the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatpamam Shantim Richati. And the last line that Srila Prabhupada is saying here is that whichever path, whether it is the path of Jnana, Yoga or Karma, ultimately you have to come to Bhakti. Without Bhakti, none of these methods can give the result. I already told you, Bhakti can independently give you the results of all other practices. Without doing karma, you can get the result of karma if you simply did Bhakti. But karma and Jnana or Yoga, they cannot give even their own results without the help of Bhakti. What is the perfection of Jnana? They want to go and merge into Brahman. Do you know? Ultimately, like initially they do Nishkama Karma Yoga. That means they do karma. At a certain point, they give up karma and do Jnana. And after some time, they have to give up that Jnana also. What remains in the end? While they're doing karma, they have to do some bhakti. While doing Jnana, they have to do some bhakti. And when they give up karma, give up Jnana, what remains in the end? Only bhakti remains. With the help of that bhakti, they are able to go and merge into Brahman. It's not that with the help of Jnana, they are merging into Brahman. It's only with the help of bhakti that they are able to. And what type of bhakti? Not mixed bhakti. You have to give up everything. Ultimately, it is only bhakti that's going to give you the result. Same with Paramatma realization also. When they come to samadhi, meditation on the Lord, you give up everything else. When you take to exclusive bhakti, that is only going to give you your final result. So that's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. That whether you do karma or jnana or yoga or whatever, ultimately Vasudeva Sarvamiti, you have to come to bhakti. That can only give us the result. So I will stop there. Thank you so much for your patient hearing. Granth-raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samavita Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai. I know we are way over time.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo Namaha.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful, wonderful class, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, shall we end?
Hare Krishna, Mother Arcanābhakti. Thank you for the class. It's great seeing you and hearing from you. I have to jump. I had a question, but maybe I'll ask later at another time.
Yes,
I have to go. But thank you. It's always great seeing you.
I'm
Hare
sorry,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. I went over time. Hare Krishna.
It's okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So I will end here. Saujanya
We
Mataji.
was
Yes,
we were
Mataji, if I
immersed in
can
the
quickly
class.
share one note.
Yeah.
like how you highlighted, like, protecting. But when we are actually in a fear or that kind, that doesn't stick to our mind, at least my mind, right time, that, oh my God, oh no, I'm protected. Why? Because I don't know. There's a lot that has to go on. So in recently, one thought came, like, how if this person cheats like this or something, not for me, Mataji, in general, like a discussion with some family members. And then the next day, I was just praying, chanting, and then suddenly one thought struck to me. Oh, when Prahlad Maharaj went through, I'm not comparing with Prahlad Maharaj, but just to take that inspiration, when Prahlad Maharaj went through all this, in spite of all that, didn't Narsinghdev protect? So even if somebody intentionally trying to hurt somebody or cheat somebody, it can go to any extent. Why will God not protect us? Why I didn't get this thought yesterday when I was thinking that situation? So it's just my personal recent reflection, Mataji. So when you were highlighting Yogakshemam, yes, why we forget that God will protect us provided we did our part? Why
Ah,
doubt? Right? So
that's
that
our
fear,
part. That is important. What you said, why Lord will not protect us provided we did our part. Now, what is that part that we have to understand?
Ah, I was like, I can't take it granted. Like how you said bhakti, you can't take it cheap. Same thing. It's okay. Everything will be fine. No, but
Surrender,
why?
complete surrender. That is
Exactly.
yes.
So even, but once that thought came to me, then I felt so relieved. Krishna, what am I worrying now? Nothing. So it was,
All we have to worry about is how to surrender to the Lord. That doesn't come easily. And
Yes, that,
surrender means 24/7. It's like completely, it's like a little baby putting, it's not just once a day or, when I'm chanting my round. No, no, continuously, all the time.
yeah.
So when that comes, that type of surrender, that type of dependence comes, oh, he's there, he's protecting. Certainly, he's protecting.
there's no question of up and down. We'll all stay in that calm mode forever, but that's like very, very long way to go.
Yes, and also the thing is Jivara Swarupohe Krishnara Nityada. So there the devotee will not even worry about his body. What to speak of
Ah,
cheating? What can someone cheating me can do? They'll
yes,
take my
that's true.
money, they'll
Or
kill
my
this
life.
body, but I will continue. That's the
Yeah.
type of,
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
conviction that the devotee has. Like Prahlad Maharaj, you gave the example. He was being thrown into hot oil,
Exactly.
put into pit of snakes,
Was he
fire.
scared of death? No, not at all, right?
No,
So that's what I'm
he
saying.
was just,
That doesn't
he's
mean if somebody will tell me you're not scared of it, can you jump off this bridge? Then that's like, hello, you're misinterpreting, right?
No, but when we are put in that situations, that's when we realize in how much water we are, how much bhakti I have, how much faith I have, it will be tested. When we are in such situations, that's when it will be tested. Am I looking at where is the door, or am I looking at, just like Prahlad Maharaj calling out to Krishna, not for helping me or anything, just,
Yeah.
calmly, as he said, calmly just remembering the
Being
Lord, or
okay.
am I being worried?
Yeah.
So tests will come, and during those tests, we will see where we are.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah. After so many days, it felt nice hearing from you. It was me, like not you. All that.
Thank you. Hare
Coming back.
Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I will end, dear devotees.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai,
Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai,
Samalita
Jai.
Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.